Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to everyone watching, from our family to yours and all that. Hope you have something nice planned for today. But until then, let's talk some bets. We actually decided to do the college football game first, even though it's not till later, partially because if we did it last, everyone would leave after the NFL. So we're going to take a couple minutes to talk Memphis Tulane quickly, and then we'll get into the cream of the crop here. Scoop was saying Memphis money line is a lock. So back that up.
I definitely didn't say that. Not one time out of my mouth. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. It's a shame this game doesn't mean much. I mean, I guess if Tulane wins, a higher probability they'll be selected as an at-large team for the playoffs. But this conference championship is already Tulane against Army next week. I don't think Army or Navy Tulane's going to make the college football playoff, no matter who wins that game. Tulane probably deserves a shot, but I doubt they'll give it to them. Usually the Egg Bowls.
I think Tulane's getting in, bro.
No, Boise State's going to get in.
UNLV's about to beat Boise State.
Boise State is not winning that conference.
Yes, they are.
I have no.
You guys are wrong. UNLV is hit the skids. Usually the Egg Bowls on Thanksgiving, Ole Miss and Mississippi State. That's tomorrow this year. So ESPN made this game on Thanksgiving. I know Tulane's the hottest team right now, but I'm not taking the money line. But giving 13.5 is to a solid Memphis team. It's too much. Like I said, I know Tulane will want to win. It'll help their resume. But all in all, the only way Tulane can possibly get in, like you said, is if Boise State loses, or they could leave the Big 12 champion out too. I don't think the committee's going to do that, but they're right on the edge. Memphis is a tough team. They're going to play hard here. I personally think Memphis is a harder team than Army, at least offensively. Memphis is second in scoring. They probably have the second best offense next to Tulane. The two games they lost this year, they scored 44 and 36 points. They haven't lost by this amount of spread all year. I know Tulane's blowing teams out, but the last three games they played were Charlotte, Temple, and Navy, and Navy's really been struggling lately. That game against North Texas, they only won by 8 in a shootout. I can see another kind of shootout here. Seth Hannigan's having a great year. I know Tulane's defense is pretty strong, but yeah, I think this is too many points for Memphis personally, so I'm going to take Memphis in the points.
I strongly disagree. What about our truth? First of all, Andy, someone says you need to bulk up and you should need an extra plate today.
I was fat like 6 months ago. I promise.
Andy recently lost a lot of weight. So he's saying you need to put some of it back on.
I need to put it back on, apparently. I need all that hard work.
Just to understand what it's like working with Andy.
We're a dieting show. We're an exercise
in the
show.
office, he'll bring in a personal, like a little bag of Cheetos, like the thing that would come with like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like a kid's thing. And he eats some of it and closes it up, leaves it on his desk. The little thing of Cheetos is like 3 days of servings for Andy. He eats like a 6-year-old kid.
You bring Lunchables in with the ham and cheese cracker snack.
There's no Cheetos there right now, but usually there's a bag of something sitting on his desk. Anyway, I disagree. I think Tulane has a lot to play for, personally. I mean, like someone said in the comments, if they lose, they don't get the home field in the conference championship. That's number one. But number two, the idea that Boise State's a shoo-in for the college football playoff, I would strongly agree with. I think Boise State looks to be slipping a bit. UNLV can't wait for their rematch. I think Tulane blows them out. I have not bet this game. 13.5 seems crazy. But I think the line's very telling here. These two teams have the same record. So the fact that it's up at 2 touchdowns is pretty indicative of it. Kind of confirms how I feel. I don't even think these teams are in the same discussion. I know Memphis has been playing better football as of late. Seth Hennigan finally getting it together a little bit, but still nobody's been able to throw the ball in this Tulane defense. They have probably a top 25 pass rush from the AAC, which is some pretty serious shit. So Memphis offensive line has done fine in pass protection, but it's kind of hard. Do you know that Tulane hasn't allowed 100 yards passing in a game in like a month? Like no one can throw the ball on this team. So it just seems like, and not to mention the weather is questionable too. It might be a bit of wind here, 15 to 20 miles an hour. I was looking at yesterday, which affects Memphis more so than Tulane because Memphis wants to throw the ball. I think Tulane blows them out. I didn't bet the game though.
So the only team that has thrown that I will say has thrown consistently on Tulane since week 2, because week 2 they played Kansas State. Yeah. Other than that, North Texas throwing them a lot. But what do we know about North Texas? They are, while they only throw the ball, they're very, very good throwing the ball. Chandler Morris has had a really good year. That team's put up a lot of points this year, far better than what Memphis has been so far this year. Even though they're playing better, Seth Hennigan's had a little bit of a down year compared to what we expected. The offense overall has been a little bit down. The reason I think Memphis has been so much better than or so much weirder than we thought, their defense has been very good this year, which isn't necessarily what we expect. We expect their defense to give up 40 points a game, but their offense to score 50. So they've been kind of the opposite of what you expect. But in this game, I don't think they're going to be able to throw on Tulane on the road. And I also don't think they're going to be able to get pressure on Mensa, which is really the only way to slow him down. Not that you completely take him out of the game, because when he's pressured, he's still solid, but he's with a clean pocket. The dude's amazing. The dude can also run around a lot. They run the ball. This team's dynamic overall. I know the idea that they're playing for anything or whatever. They're obviously playing for a lot. They can make the playoff. I think that they're more likely to make the playoff than Boise State, because I think the way Boise State's played down the stretch has been poor. So for Tulane, I just think that the fact that they have so much to play for, the fact that I think there's a lot of advantages they can use. It's a home game. It's going to be a little bit windy. I think it's like 10-mile-per-hour winds, not bad. Nothing really going to affect them. I just think that this is just a complete mismatch in that sense, and I think that they're going to win by a lot. The only thing that scares me is late in the game, Memphis, because they throw the ball so much in soft coverage, they did it against Navy. Against Navy, they were down 30 in that game, or 28 or whatever, and they nearly won the game because Navy just sat back in soft coverage, and they scored like 20 points in the fourth quarter of that game and nearly won it. That could happen here, but against Tulane, I still think that the defense is so good, they'll get out to a strong enough start and a big enough lead. So Tulane for me.
I agree. Let's move on.
People were very upset we talked about college football.
I mean, the NFL brings out the biggest dummies always.
It's
Fine by me.
All right. Oh, Andy, go enjoy your Thanksgiving, man.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
yeah. Peace week.
I guess Toast is not joining us.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's just Toast's screen will be blank. All right, 1 second. Let's get the poll up. We got Bears plus 9.5, Packers minus 9.5, over 47.5, under 47.5. All right. NFL Thanksgiving, 3 games. Obviously, we're starting out in Detroit as we do every single year. And I am on, as many of you probably already know, I am on the Bears here.
Toast is here.
Toast is...
Toast.
Well,
I texted him. I didn't blow up your phone. I sent you one message.
Wait, let me find Toast's camera here. There we go. Toast made it for the stream. He's just in time to talk Bears football. All right. So, you missed the Tulane game, Toast. It was pretty exciting.
I purposely missed it, actually, but go ahead.
All right. Bears, Lions, as you guys probably already know, I'm on the Bears. So, I know everyone holds this Lions team just in the highest of regards, and I get it. When it comes to the Lions offense, I'm not going to give you much pushback. It's a very good offense, one of the best offenses in the NFL. That being said, I think we're forgetting that this Lions defense is extremely vulnerable. First of all, the Lions starting defensive front seven's missing 4 starters. Yes, 3 of them have been out. There's only one new injury. It's Anzalone, who just missed his first game last week. But the Lions defensive front 7 is cooked right now. And you look at the last 5 games, you're like, oh, the Lions are still playing some solid defense. I get it. They are. Look who they played. In the last 5 games, they played Mason Rudolph, Mac Jones, Anthony Richardson, Jordan Love in a monsoon, a pouring rain, and C.J. Stroud, who is having a terrible year. And by the way, the C.J. Stroud game, the only time they played a starting NFL quarterback in normal weather, they won by 3. I had Houston plus 3.5 in that. They won by 3 points. So this Lions defense has everyone fooled that this is, I mean, do you remember, rewind a month and a half ago, we were like, this Lions offense is really good, but this defense might suck. The Lions have a good defense is a narrative that kind of appeared out of nowhere. This is a very injured defense. We know the secondary can't be trusted even though they're healthy. So the idea that the Lions have a top 10 defense, I believe, is hogwash. We know this defense is extremely vulnerable. That being said, now they play Caleb Williams in a dome. Caleb Williams coming off back-to-back great games against the Packers and the Vikings. Both teams I consider to have better defenses than the Lions, Green Bay and Minnesota. Both in Chicago weather. Now he goes against the worst defense in a dome. I like that for Caleb Williams. He's trending upwards. He played really well in the last 2 games. He was pressured on just 24.7% of his dropbacks in those 2 games. And the reason that's important is that's been the problem with this Bears offense all year. They can't keep Caleb Williams protected in the pocket. Well, in the last 2 games, he's one of the least pressured quarterbacks in the NFL. Not to mention the Lions' pass rush is severely hindered right now with no Aiden Hutchinson. The Lions aren't pressuring quarterbacks at a high rate right now. So we got Caleb Williams on a heater in a dome with time in the pocket against a secondary we know that we don't trust. I like it. I don't think the Bears are going to be able to run the ball in Detroit because I do trust the Lions' run defense, but Bears are on mostly gap concept blocking schemes, and the Lions are elite against zone blocking. Against gap blocking, they're pretty average. I think the Bears are going to score points in this game, honestly. On the other side, it's Jared Goff at home. Of course, he's going to score points, but the Bears do run a lot of zone coverage. Goff is much better against man. The Bears run a ton of cover 3. Goff is not that great against cover 3. The Bears don't blitz and still generate pressure. That's how you beat Jared Goff. That's how you get those turnovers. You put pressure on him without sending extra rushers. The Lions are averaging just 4.2 yards per carry in their last 4 games. This number shouldn't be 10. It's 9.5 now. Straight up, tell me this isn't the exact same situation as last year. Is it not? It's the exact same situation as last Thanksgiving. Remember, when Jordan Love beat the Lions on Thanksgiving, nobody was regarding him as a good quarterback at the time. Nobody. Everyone was like, Jordan Love, first-year starter, he sucks. Then the Detroit was looking unstoppable, laying a big number on Thanksgiving. Everyone's like, oh, my God, the Packers are about to get smoked. I mean, Jordan Love beat their ass, and from that point on, we started looking at Jordan Love a little differently. This is when his upward trajectory started last year. Caleb Williams is trending upwards. I mean, the idea that the Lions defense is just going to completely shut down a Bears offense that's looked pretty good the last 2 weeks in Chicago weather against better defenses, in my opinion, is unrealistic. I got the Bears +9, or I got the Bears +10. I also placed an alt spread, Bears +3.5 at +240. I think it's a field goal game. I'm on the Bears.
Interesting. Well, I'll just go really quickly because I have something that kind of follows that. I played Caleb Williams over 226 passing yards. He's hit this number in his last 2 games. He's been completing over 70% of his passes. The Lions allow the 8th most passing yards per game. Not to mention the fact the Bears are in a dome. Not to mention the fact that they're also a 10-point. The Lions are a 10-point favorite, so they're supposed to be down. They're going to be throwing all game. I played Caleb Williams over his passing yards.
Okay, prop Beaver.
Is that a Bears +3.5?
Yeah, I did it all. I think it's going to be a field goal game.
What is that coward shit? Just take the money line. Jared Goff 0-3 on Thanksgiving. I mean, if you're gonna do it, just go all the way.
How about you do it then?
No, because I got my own play, Buster Brown. I got Jared Goff under 20. I got Jared Goff under 21.5 completions. I'm selling high on Mr. Jared Goff. I just wanted to preface, by the way, before I go into this, 4-13 in our last 17 bets. As Austin Seibert has said, we're not striking well right now. We are not striking well right now. We're selling high on Jared Goff here. He's coming off back-to-back overs. Very clear path to victory here for Detroit, and that comes on the ground. Bears 30th in rush defense DVOA, Lions 2nd in rush offense DVOA, and the edge in the trenches is a joke. Opponents are well aware of this, and the Bears own the 10th highest opponent rush play frequency this season, 5th most over the last 3 weeks, and as a result, they've allowed the 6th fewest completions, 8th fewest pass attempts. Had Sam Darnold not miraculously, via absolute bullshit, gone to overtime last week, that would have been 4 straight quarterbacks to fly under their completions mark against Chicago. I mean, he had 6 completions in OT last week. The last 4 QBs to go against him, averaging just 14 completions per game. Golf's attempts line in this one between 29.5 and 30.5 here, with just 35 or less attempts. This is a man under his last 19 to 30 starts, averages 19.9 completions per game. And on top of that, Golf has just not fared well whatsoever against Eberflus and these Bears as a line. He's gone under the last 4 or 5 matchups, averaging 19 completions per game. This is with a Lions defense that was in far worse shape in the past, and the Bears rush defense that was looking far more respectable in the past. Neither is working for them in this situation. And the fact that Golf is much worse for his zone, he's worse but not blitzed, and the Bears can actually create pressure, unlike Indy and Jacksonville, who gave him all day the last 2 games, and I like an under here.
Scoop.
Yeah, what better way to bring me on in NFL, like I said, than talk about 3 garbage games. But it's nice to be up to the big leagues.
This is a cool game, Scoop. What are you talking about?
I guess the Dolphins and Packers are okay, but
this one's
yeah,
cool too.
So Lions are obviously
welcome
on a
to
roll.
the show, Scoop.
Thanks, man. In this one, the Lions are going to be without Khalif Raymond, Taylor Decker, Carlton Davis. Yeah, but the Lions actually haven't won on Thanksgiving the last 7 years. They're 0-7. I hate to go against the Lions because I think they were the best team in the NFC, followed by the Eagles. But I think 9.5 is a bit too steep here for a late division game. And yeah, like everyone said, Caleb Williams has gotten way better since they switched offensive coordinators to Thomas Brown. With him, he's averaging 285 yards a game, 66 completion percentage. Looks way more comfortable. And over the past 2 games, Caleb's been throwing for 571 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Yeah, with that Davis injury, I can see him have a pretty good game on that side. The last 2 games were close. The Packers and Viking games, they easily could have won both. And that Bears defense is quietly one of the better defenses in the league. They give up less than 20 in 4 of the last 6. They're kind of a bend but don't break defense. They give up a bunch of yards and on the ground and air, but they play pretty good red zone defense. But also everyone's on the Lions. There's not one place I saw that's picking the Bears. I know Jared Goff has been great, but he struggled against the Bears. He almost lost to them twice last year. The one they did last year, they lost outright, and the one they had to come back from at home. I mean, that coupled with the Lions' struggles on Thanksgiving, a hard division matchup, this game really does seem closer than I feel, people think it will be. But I know Montgomery's banged up. I guess he's playing. I'm not sure if Raymond's going to get some carries. Obviously, Gibbs will be a workhorse anyway, if that's the case. But if Montgomery's, banged up, it's still a big piece from their offense if he's limited. So the only thing I'm worried about, I guess, is is Dan Campbell's an asshole. And I say that in a good way. He loves to run up the score, and he loves pulling shit like fake punts up 17. So I think he'll keep trying to put the game away and show they're the best. But I'd still grab the Bears getting points here on the road.
We're all going with the Bears. A certain team from
not.
a certain town known for its Polish sausage.
I'm not. That Bears defense is slumping right now. Y'all are tripping.
Do you think that the Bears are going to score some points, Kyle? I mean, like,
Yeah, I looked at the
points?
team total over.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you think that's it, I think the Santos kicking points would be a decent bet as well, because it's at 6.5, so that's like a couple field goals and a couple extra points.
In my opinion, if you like the Lions, I would go over. Because I think it's unrealistic that the Lions are going to shut the Bears' offense down. Lions' defense isn't very good. They played man coverage against Anthony Richardson last week, he might be the worst quarterback ever in recorded stat history against man coverage. He's completing like 30% of his passes. Before that, they played Mac Jones. So this Lions defense is not very good. Now, if you want to say the Lions are going to cover this game 40-28, sure. But the Bears are going to score, in my opinion.
Disrespectful Mac Jones hate.
Yeah, I guess that was a little unnecessary to take a shot at Mac Jones. Next game, Giants Cowboys. Some real heat here. Prop Beaver cannot wait for this game.
Yeah, my play for this game is try and convince your most clueless family member that Tommy DeVito is the godson of Danny DeVito. That would be my play for this game. No, honestly, if Tommy DeVito is somehow playing, I know he's game time decision.
Wait. I thought it was confirmed that it's locked.
Apparently,
very doubtful.
I thought I got a notification yesterday after the fact that it was confirmed that it was Drew Lock that he actually is a game time decision now, Tommy DeVito. So if there is somehow a miracle that Tommy DeVito, little Tommy, takes the field for today's game, then I would bet the Cowboys, because I'm just going to take Andy's methodology of what he does in terms of Maryland. When Maryland doesn't take a pass rush, okay, you bet that quarterback. I think it's Wagner. The dude can't handle pressure for shit. Same thing with Tommy DeVito. This dude, Tommy DeVito, cannot handle pressure to save his life. the only real good quality about this Cowboys defense is that they're fantastic in terms of the pressure they bring. The Cowboys pass defense the last 2 weeks has looked phenomenal. I'm gonna ride the momentum that the Cowboys defense has brought the last 2 weeks. If you look at Rico Dowdle's props, they're projecting him for a hell of a game. They're essentially making him unbettable. So if you look at what the books are kind of projecting here, they're essentially telling you the Cowboys are going to win. It's just I don't really want to bet that unless Tommy DeVito's at quarterback, because Drew Lock, at the very least, has some moxie to him. If you're in the Giants locker room, at least you want to play for Drew Lock. It's like, why the hell am I playing for Tommy DeVito, the third best quarterback on this team? I mean, just disgraceful.
Toast, are you guaranteeing a Cowboys win?
Not on Thanksgiving. The Cowboys don't ever do well on Thanksgiving. 11 of the last 13 haven't covered, with a cover margin of minus 9.2 points per game. So, not to mention another little quick stat for you guys. The Cowboys have allowed 25 points in 5 straight games this season. Teams like that coming into Thanksgiving, 18-33 ATS since 2018. So
you're on the G-Men.
No, I'm on. I'm on Brandon Aubrey over 8.5 kicking points.
There it is.
I continue to preach this, and I'm hitting. I think I'm like 8 for 9, maybe 7 for 9 in this. But anytime you guys see kicking points at 8.5, they're going over. That's this. I'm telling you guys,
it's the system. It's the system.
You guys can laugh and make your jokes as I keep on cashing these these props. But again, Brandon Aubrey over 8.5 kicking points. Anytime that number's over at 8.5, it should be 7.5 for pretty much 90% of the league. So very rare you see Q get 8.5. You see Aubrey get 8.5 every once in a while. It doesn't happen very often. Plus 100 too. Are you kidding? What a steal! Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Whenever you see an 8.5, it's going over.
I keep saying it. Somebody in the comments is going to back me up, I'm sure.
No one's going to back that shit up. Scoop, do you have anything to say about this game?
Yeah, I have a good deal to say about this barn burner. This game is a disgrace. Tommy DeVito's hurt. I think it's going to definitely be Drew Lock. But, I mean, on the other side, I mean, there's Cooper Rush, and I don't know. I heard it was going to be, at first, Drew Lock versus the Trey Lance show. So that would really make you sick on Thanksgiving. But, so Drew Lock's playing. I think that actually helps the Giants in their passing game, I guess. Or just overall awareness back there. Because my Paisan brother doesn't look great. But with him in, Tampa Bay already had a bad defense. They were ranked, I think, 30th in efficiency, and they couldn't do anything against Tampa Bay. So then they had to watch Saquon put up over 300 all-purpose yards, which was, I'm sure, it was great for them. This game's super ugly. It's looking like I said, Lock's going to play, but it's hard to see anything happening for this Giants offense. They're last in points scored, 28th in passing yards, 25th in sacks allowed, worst red zone percentage, 24th in turnovers. The running game is okay with Tracy, but he has a tough time holding onto the ball. The defense is legit. I'll give them that. Their defensive line is great at getting to the quarterback. Their pass defense is all right. So if you're betting the Giants, that's what you have to hang your hat on their defense. They do have a terrible run defense, but you're going against a Cowboys team that's one of the worst running teams I've ever seen. So I think they average like 82 a game. If I had to pick a side or any kind of bet, I'd go under in this game. I actually do have a bet, but I'm going to say that after. I know the total's at 37.5, but I don't see where the offense is coming from. If I was picking a team, I guess I'd go Cowboys, even though they're 0-5 at home. But they're one of the worst point differentials in history at home, too, so that's pretty impressive. People say that the total's too low for two terrible defenses, but the Giants have a decent pass defense, except that Tampa game, but Baker is way better than Cooper Rush. And the Cowboys defense isn't great, but you can't put faith in the Giants offense, like I said. So, no, this is a garbage game. I wish they could have flexed this out to Sunday or just canceled it, but I actually have a prop bet for Beaver. I don't know if he's going to make fun of me or say anything, but I actually bet this. It's Cooper Rush interceptions at minus 105, which is 0, -1.5. Giants have only one pick this year, all year, the one interception. And Cooper Rush has the 7th lowest interception percentage this season. I know it's not a big sample size, but he only throws an interception on 1.3% of his passes. So with a defense that can't turn the ball over, and Cooper Rush, I think the Cowboys are going to win. I think they'll be up and try to run the ball, but I like the under Cooper Rush interceptions first.
Oh, under.
Under.
Okay. Yeah, under.
I thought you were going with like a insane regression angle there.
No,
like,
no, I'm
like
going
this
with,
team doesn't ever get a pick. Cooper Rush doesn't throw picks. I'm going for the ultimate regression angle there. I was like, okay, wow.
So Cooper Rush.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, actually, I mean, if you did need a bet in that game, honestly, I co-sign that.
I know on the over 8.5 kick points.
Now that it looks like Drew Lock is going to be playing quarterback, it just there's way too much uncertainty to really throw a bet down in this game. I think I'm going to bet the Cowboys, but that might be because I'm going to be with my family and like my dad and my brother are all Cowboys fans. So I'd like to, be part of the family, root for the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, just try to be a good son, a good brother.
Gaslight them because you're leaving after the game.
But I mean, now that, if I'm being honest, now in the bets I posted on the website, this was not in it. I didn't actually bet this. Now that Drew Lock's at quarterback, in my opinion, there's just way too many moving pieces. How do we even know how much of the playbook is open for Drew Lock? He hasn't been on the team long. How do we even know what we're expecting from the Giants offensively? I think we can hang our hats on they're going to try to run the ball, and they should be able to a little bit. The thing is, on the Giants defense has become so one-dimensional that they're generating pressure at a top 5, top 10 rate in the NFL and still putting up some of the worst defensive numbers in the NFL, which means it is not hard to game plan for this Giants defense. It's basically just call plays that take the pass rush out of the game, and they can't do anything else. They can't tackle. They can't stop the run. You can hit those short passes underneath all day. This Giants defense is so bad. They have a pass rush, but that's literally it. And I honestly could see Cooper Rush taking that game plan and having some success with it, honestly. And Rico Dowdle, I expect him to run the ball. I guess if it was at -3, I'd say screw it. Let's do the Cowboys. At 3.5, I can't do it. But, yeah, Cowboys are pass. I'll root for the Cowboys and be a member of the family.
I think the one thing that really doesn't get me to pull the trigger on the Cowboys is that, okay, you're facing a bad rush defense in the Giants. The 4 times the Cowboys have faced a bottom 10 defense in EPA per rush, they've absolutely shat the bed. I mean, they've done nothing against these bottom 10 rush defenses. So it's like, okay, that. Cooper Rush against this amazing pass rush and, like, the run game, okay, you're supposed to have this great game, but if they don't have this great game, I mean, like, I don't know.
I saw that, but most of those games where I say most of, they're earlier in the season, right? The Saints, that's week 2. The Giants, week 4. So, I mean, a while ago, I feel like this Cowboys team started to get the run going about 4 weeks ago. So, a few of those games I would say I wouldn't consider relevant. I don't know. I'm not betting the Cowboys.
I mean, Washington was last week.
I know, but they scored 34 points in the game, and Cooper Rush was doing well.
Okay.
Also, the people who say, like, Giants and Bears are tanking, the players don't tank, man. I mean, the GMs like and
also,
stuff want to tank, but they're fighting for their jobs. Bears coach is fighting for his job. They're not going to tank.
I don't even know why the Bears would be in that discussion. They're not even out of the playoff race yet.
Because of the decisions that Matt Eberflus continues to make.
No, but I'm saying they're not a tank team. They're 4-7. They got their quarterback of the future. They're not a tank team. I mean, 9-8 could get into the playoffs. I don't know. All right, next up, Miami, Green Bay. Last game of the night. Is it 3.5 across the board now?
Let me check.
Yeah, there are no 3s left. Wow. All right. So I guess I got some value. I'm on Green Bay in this one. I'll go first. I'm on Green Bay in this one. I bet the Packers -3 though at 3.5. I don't like it nearly as much. I like my pick at 3.5 would still be the Packers, but when I got a 3, that was why I pulled the trigger on it. You know what though? That's a little hypocritical because I believe I took a 3 at -120 anyway. So I took a juice 3. So maybe that doesn't even make sense what I said. So I'm on the Packers -3. All right. So the Dolphins haven't been able to run the ball at all recently. 3.2 yards per carry in their last 3 games. That was against the Rams, the Raiders, and the Patriots. So I don't know what happened to this Dolphins rushing attack, but it's not working. They're not generating push. They're not able to run the ball recently. And what that does is it puts a lot of pressure on Tua Tagovailoa on the road in Lambeau. As you I'm sure you probably know, as I'm sure I don't really watch ESPN, but as I'm sure that they're displaying all over ESPN all week, Tua Tagovailoa has never won a game in temperatures 46 degrees or below. He's 0-6 in his career. It's supposed to be significantly colder than that. Now, to be fair, if you're a Dolphins fan or if you like Tua, two of those games were his rookie year. One of them was a playoff game on the road in Arrowhead in -5-degree weather. So, like, not many quarterbacks are winning that game. The most recent one, I believe, was in Buffalo, and Tua actually played pretty well. Josh Allen just threw 3 or 4 touchdowns. So I don't know if there's any merit to the Tua 0-6 in 46 degrees or lower. That might be a little bit of bullshit. So that's not what my bet is based on, but it is something to take note of. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be able to run the ball because the Dolphins haven't been able to run the ball in a month. Tua does have some nice numbers against cover 2, which I suppose is positive. But other than that, there's just not much I like here for the Dolphins offense. Maybe Tyreek Hill can break a play or two. They do have some playmakers, but it's not enough to overcome the matchup on the other side of the ball, which I like a lot. The Dolphins are one of the worst defenses in the NFL at limiting the deep pass, that's Jordan Love's shit, man. That's what he does. He throws, I think he might throw the ball deep more often than any other quarterback in the NFL, and he's really good at it. He's one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL, so you got a Dolphins defense who, by the way, that secondary is injured. Do we have an update on Jalen Ramsey, AJ?
He's washed.
That could be an update. No, I do not know about his status.
Fuller's out. Fuller's out.
Oh, he got updated to out from.
Well,
doubtful.
he was doubtful.
Let's see. Ramsey's in.
Ramsey's playing. Okay. So
Yeah.
regardless, I mean, he's been in all year. That doesn't move the needle for me. But so you got a Dolphins defense that struggles limiting the downfield throws. You got Jordan Love, who loves throwing the ball downfield. Also, an angle I really like here. Dolphins 28th in adjusted sack rate. Jordan Love 10% pressure to sack rate, which is second best in the NFL. So a Dolphins defense that does not record many sacks against an offensive line and a quarterback that does not allow many sacks at all. Sacks are drive killers, obviously. If Jordan Love goes this whole game without taking a single sack, obviously that's a positive. In fact, the Packers' offensive line is first on Pro Football Focus in terms of pass blocking grade. So even though the Dolphins do have a bit of a pass rush, they are able to generate some pressure. Even with the 2 injuries to Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips, they're still able to generate some pressure. Packers' offensive line's a tough matchup. They're really good at protecting Jordan Love. Now, the Dolphins have defended the run well, but this Packers offense is running the ball pretty consistently. Wouldn't even be surprised if the Packers are able to run the ball a little bit as well. So the second, I actually have 2 bets in this game, and the second one is right here. One sec. Let's see if Andy made a graphic. Here we go. Packers team total over 25.5. I like Green Bay to score here in the weather. The reason I didn't go all in on the Packers -3 is I think if Miami wins, it'll be a bit higher scoring. So that protects me against that. But I like the Packers to put up at least 28-plus points here and win and cover the -3. Gentlemen?
Okay. Yeah, so this is the game of the day, I suppose. I really think, like Kyle said, I think this is a weather game. I know everyone's saying it's played out, it's overrated, it's overhyped, everything like that. So it's not going to snow or anything, but it's going to be really cold. Like Kyle said, Tua does not do well in cold weather for cold weather games. He is 0-6, 8 touchdowns, 10 picks, a 71 passer rating. So not good. Keep in mind, this weather is going to be 26 degrees, 10-mile-per-hour winds, wind chills about 14. So that's probably not great for Miami in general. I mean, Miami plays obviously in a nice, cushy environment. But yeah, so obviously since Tua came back, this team moves so much better. But they're not stopping Green Bay at night on Thanksgiving in Lambeau. Green Bay is 5th in total offense, 7th in rushing. Josh Jacobs has been a beast. I didn't draft him in fantasy, so that's probably why I'm 5-7 in both of my leagues. The good thing with Green Bay is their offensive line has been great all year. They're 2nd in sacks allowed. Most of the time that helps Love. Not to mention Miami doesn't really have a pass rush at all. They definitely have the advantage there. He finally didn't throw an interception last game. That's big for Jordan Love. Good for him. But yeah, Jacob should have a nice day here. Dolphins are only 16th in run defense, so that should set up the pass for Love. It would definitely help if Christian Watson can hold on to the ball. Obviously, that would help the offense well. I know the Dolphins, like Kyle said, they're on a 3-game winning streak, but they played the Rams away. That's a nice, easy environment. Very average team with no home field advantage there. Then they hosted the Raiders and the Patriots, 2 of the worst NFL teams. So, I mean, against the Bills, Seahawks, and Cardinals, they're giving up 28 points a game. Those are the offenses we're talking about. That's comparing with the Packers. I see them giving up points here. Their defense isn't that great. So, yeah, this is the first time Green Bay actually hosted a Thanksgiving game since 2015, which is crazy because when I was growing up, I thought Green Bay played every Thanksgiving. Just a wild stat, I thought. They're 0-1 at home on Thanksgiving and 14, 17, and 2 on the road. So 1 game on the road, 33 games on the road. One game at home, 33 games on the road for Green Bay. So I just like the spot here for the Packers. I think they're the better team. I'm going to take them and lay the 3.5.
Prop Beaver, how did we miss this? Ready for this? Bears are 6-1 in their last 7 Thursday games. Eberflus 4-0 on Thursday Night Football. He's the best short week coach in the NFL. How did we miss that for the video?
He's the Thursday king.
He's the Thursday goat. Eberflus is the Thursday.
I don't know. I guess I don't look at the day splits.
Me neither. Yeah, so that's something we should put that in our notes because that would have been a cool thing for the video, something to keep in mind. But anyway,
that's a good one because I scout those things. Like I have a couple for this game and I didn't find that one.
Yeah, but you're not a very efficient person, so
that's true.
So for this game, I have Jordan Love over 240.5 pass yards, minus 113. Coming off an 163-yard performance against 4 Niners. Guy literally had to do nothing. I mean, the Niners were hapless offensively. Jacobs did anything he wanted on the ground. I think here, not only do we see a more competitive game, but a matchup that's simply way more conducive toward the passing game. That's because the Dolphins' rush defense has really come together after a slow start. Since week 8, they're allowing 50 less yards per game and a whole less yard per carry. So that's massive improvement right there. Meanwhile, the opposite has occurred through the air since week 8. They're allowing 100 more yards per game, a 10% increase in success rate, and a 25 increase in passer rating following a 4-game hot streak versus weak competition. As a result, we've now seen the last 4 or 5 QBs to face the Dolphins going over their pass yards mark, and not only have we seen a bump in efficiency, but pass frequency as well, averaging 270 yards per game on a whopping 40 attempts. The first 6 QBs to face the Dolphins, 5-1 to the under, averaging just 166 yards per game on 26 attempts. So there's a massive shift going on with QBs against this Dolphins team. And if we do some line reading, Love's attempts line is at 32.5, 33.5 on some books. That is wildly suspect because he has flown under that line in 6 of 8 or 7 of 8 games, depending on the line you're getting. Averages 24 attempts per game. That is nearly 9 attempts under this line. With just 25 plus pass attempts, Love is over his last 7 of 8 home games, averaging 290 yards per game, 50 more than what we're getting here. And with 29 plus pass attempts, a number 5 straight QBs have smashed against Miami. Love is over his last 11 of 14 overall, averaging 272. I think the icing on the cake here is the fact that Kyle went through it. This is a great matchup for Love. The Dolphins blitz at a bottom 10 rate. Love is second in yards per attempt when not blitzed. The Dolphins are top 12 in zone coverage rate, while Love is 4th in yards per attempt against zone compared to 27th against man. And then Love is the deep ball king. The Dolphins are 28th in DVOA against the deep ball. So really like a Jordan Love bounce back here after just 160 yards last week.
Yeah, and I also don't think it's crazy that Josh Jacobs will get his 4 yards per carry. I think they'll throw the ball a lot, but they've been running the ball in some decent defenses. So I honestly think that even though the Dolphins have been playing great defense against the run, I think the Packers will be able to run the ball and utilize that a little bit too. I like the matchup for the Packers offensively. I do. It was between Packers and over. Because I don't think Tua actually having a successful game here in Lambeau, I don't think that's that crazy. I think the Tua in cold weather thing, there's a little bit of bullshit regarding that. And someone just said in the comments they've been practicing in refrigerators all week, which is just like the bill on that. How much money are they shelling out to practice in refrigerators is wild. Toast.
Yeah, I played the Packers as well. Part of it is because I was tailing you. Part of it is obviously Josh Jacobs and Miami's run defense ranks in the bottom 10. I do care about Tua in this cold weather because he's 0-4 straight up and 1-3 ATS in games under 40 degrees. Miami scored just 3 and 7 points in both of those games. Also, a little Turkey Day trend for you guys. If you're a favorite on Thanksgiving, not named the Dallas Cowboys, you're 30-10 ATS by almost a touchdown. A touchdown a game since 2007. and Thanksgiving night favorites are 13-4 all time. So that's 77%. Not to mention one more thing: Mike McDaniel, Dolphins coach, only 5-9 ATS against teams over 500 in his career. Packed up.
I like that. That Thanksgiving favorites not named the Dallas Cowboys 30-10.
Quick little shot.
Someone told me that people get upset when I read off trends in the video and say I'm not a trends guy, and then read off a trend. People don't like that
because they don't understand that people ask for them, even if you don't.
Right. The videos are for the viewers. It's not just the stuff I look at. It's anything. People.
I hate it. You should stop doing it.
So real quick before we go enjoy Thanksgiving dinner, let's build out a cool. Let's get the community favorite bet. You guys could leave if you want. I'm going to do like a cool home run swing Thanksgiving parlay, but you guys could go enjoy your dinner if you want. First, we'll do a community top bet.
No, that means I would have to go hang out with my family, so I'm good here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told my wife I had the day off, and I'm at work at 7 a.m., so she's pissed.
All right. Of the current we're using for this community top bet, we're using top current lines. So I got Bears +10 and Packers -3. Those aren't available. So what's your top bet of the current lines? If you had to place a bet right now, current lines, what would it be? Cast your votes.
College basketball on today, too.
I was just about. Thank you, Scoop. Thank you for
You're
that.
welcome.
So, Feast Week fans, really quickly, I got a few bets. UT Arlington +7.5. Wake Forest +7.5. Towson +1.5. I already gave out a couple other plays on the show last night with Andy. You guys are more than welcome to look at that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to add. UT Arlington for sure.
Prop Beaver, what do you think of Toast UT Arlington bet?
I think it's one of his best he's ever given out. The analysis that went into it, the character that he showed picking it, just some shit that y'all don't see.
You don't like Utah State?
Just some shit that y'all don't see on a regular basis.
I think Utah State's going to cover the 6 against Colorado State. We're talking football now. That's Saturday.
I was gonna say UT Arlington plays Rhode Island. So what are we doing?
Toast during Thanksgiving was capping the UT Arlington Rhode Island game. All right,
I'm loving every second.
I'm going to give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull, and it is Packers. The community's favorite bet is Packers. So let's get that on the screen. The community's been hot. Oh, no. The Rutgers lost by the hook.
Yeah.
So the community's favorite bet is Packers -3.5. Now I'm going to build. Oh, Prop Beaver, don't you have an underdog?
No. So what happened is, I don't want to blame my friends at Underdog, but our friends at Underdog only have completion percentage for golf, not completions. Completely different hit rate.
That's
completely different hit rate.
That's so selfish of them.
Yeah. So listen. Lots of other opportunities this week. We got the Friday stream, we got the Saturday stream, and we got the Sunday stream. So we'll just go back tomorrow. No need to put out a bad Underdog. Hey, we don't do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to score 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore.
2?
Yep.
I mean,
it's Thanksgiving, Toast. No, this is a judgment-free day.
What are we doing? Like a plus 10,000 parlay today?
Yeah, it's a home run.
Honestly,
swing.
It is making my skin crawl that you have this ugly ass BYU colored community top bet. Can you make it green and yellow?
I'll fix it. For some reason.
I sent you a message in Discord yesterday. I put a play for Texas A&M that Sauce was on the other side, and I put the wrong date on it. So I think Sauce actually is the one that changed the
There
date.
we go.
So
Is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
Tyrone Tracy to score a touchdown, and Rico Dowdle to score a touchdown. Both running backs get in, and then in the Dolphins game.
All right.
Is that on top of the 2?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I apologize.
We're going for a big turkey.
What about
today.
Jordan Love to throw 3?
I was gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. Let's do that. Yeah. Let's do it.
Where's Jordan Love? All passing TDs, 3+. Plus 56,000.
Oh my god! I was not built for this. I'm gonna do singles here.
All right, so
Do it.
the home run swing is.
Now I gotta bet it because if your stupid ass hits
I
this,
know.
I would be so pissed.
He does this too. These are the
I
types
know.
of shit that he'll hit too.
I would
Like,
be
hey guys, look at this.
disgusted. I would actually throw up.
No. And he'll have like $100.
I'm typing on this.
That being said, people, responsibly, I'm talking less than $5.
No. I'm not missing out on this
Oh,
payday.
that's the Tracy touchdown. I didn't hear you say that.
All right, I'm putting it on the screen. On the screen. I'm using FanDuel odds. There may be better options. I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to go see my family. I'm not going to sit here and shop it.
Better options with my 7-legger.
Here's the Thanksgiving home run swing. We'll put it over Prop Beaver's face. We've had enough.
Thank you.
Oh,
DJ Moore, 2+ touchdowns. Rico Dowdle, touchdown. Tyrone Tracy, touchdown. Jordan Love, 3+ passing touchdowns. And if my calculations are correct, this comes out to be plus 56,000. Can someone punch that in? I don't usually place bets on the computer.
All right. 1 second. I'm punching. I'm doing a punch.
I was gonna say, Beaver. Someone's gonna have to punch. This is gonna take forever.
1 second to score. Wait. Plus 56. Yeah, 141. That's
There
what
we
I'm
go. Plus 56, 141. That is not going to hit. So please don't bet that like, oh, this is that's not going to hit.
I just bet 5 to win 2,812, baby. Let's do it.
All right, guys.
Oh my god. Here we go.
Thanksgiving. Say what you're grateful for. We're not going to do that. I'm just saying I'm grateful for you guys. We hit 100,000 subscribers this fall. It's been a fun year.
I thought you meant you're grateful for like the people who work for you.
No.
Like us.
Oh, no, not you guys.
Oh, just so
That's what I thought too. I was gonna say something really nice back.
Thank you, the community. It doesn't.
I'm grateful
doesn't
for the viewers, not you guys.
Got it.
But yeah, thank you guys for the continued support. Let's have ourselves a go. We'll be live at this time. We're just morning shows every day for the next 3 because it's nonstop football. Tomorrow there's a huge college football slate. We'll be live in the morning. Saturday college football again. Rivalry week, we'll be live in the morning. Sunday NFL, we'll be live in the morning. So no, for the rest of this, we won't have another regular time of 4 p.m. Eastern time until Monday. Everyone, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Eat, drink, and be merry. Yeah, I think that's it. Be sure to bet responsibly today, especially when it comes to that wild-ass parlay on your screen right now.
Stay goated.